Hello, hello. If you can't hear me, raise your hand.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please take a minute to take a breath and to start to be here from wherever you're coming from wherever you were. Let your mind catch up with your body. Your body made it here on time. Now put aside the commuting, carpooling, cooking, cleaning, caring for whatever that was before, and just take this time to relax. So please take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and try to become one as we're here. So it's been a busy week. We hit last Shabbat just after Yom Kippur. For many of us, those days were spent figuring out why on earth God put another holiday right after Yom Kippur. And so sukkahs got built, and then this week sukkahs got blown away. By the way, if your sukkah got blown away, it means it was a kosher sukkah. If your sukkah withstood that wind, it is not a kosher sukkah, because a sukkah is supposed to be a temporary dwelling. And so if it withstood this, then you have created a bomb shelter, not a sukkah. So when people said, oh, it fell down, it's supposed to. That's what happens when you have a 45-mile-an-hour wind and a sukkah. So people said you should have attached the roof more firmly to the sukkah. I said if I had done that, the entire sukkah would have been our neighbor's backyard. So it was better that it didn't happen. So we had a gorgeous weekend, just beautiful, perfect fall weather, and then that torrential rain and wind. So it's been a busy time. We started Sukkot. We're in the middle of Sukkot. We will reach the end of the high holidays this Sunday evening with Simchat Torah. So think back through your week. Think back through what was good this past week, all the way back to last Shabbat. Think about, there are times for worrying about what wasn't good, what didn't go right. Just think about the things that were good this week. And while you're doing it, I'm going to ask you to pick out the best thing that happened to you this week, which you're going to, in a moment, you're going to share with others. So take a little time and think back through your week. And when you figured out what was best, please go talk to someone that you did not sit with. Tell them who you are, ask them who they are, tell them the best thing that happened to you, and ask the best thing that happened to them. So you all need to get up. Go for it. Okay?
Why did they put Lechilach as the anthem?
You're asking me why you put that?
Oh, I know. You're telling, I know I did it.
Okay,
Because
the mic is on. Is it on? Yes, it is. Well, you may not have any volume. What's tap on the mic again? No, what number? Number? No further. 8. Shira, would you try that, please? Shira,
Yes?
try that, please.
Hello, hello. Oh, God almighty.
Okay.
It's a little loud. Tiny bit too loud.
Thank you all for starting conversations like this. I hope you'll continue them during the Oneg.
Let's begin with Hine Matov, which you can find on page 128. Hine Matov umanahim shavet achim gaham yachad. Hine Matov umanahim shavet achim gaham yachad. Once again. Hine matov umanahim shevet achi gam yachad. Hine matov umanahim shevet achi gam yachad. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Hine matov. Umanahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanahim shevet achim gam yachad. And I was trying to find a song that was, we did many Sukkot songs the other day, but I love Dodili on page 129. Just the opposite side of the page. Because it talks about finding one's beloved among the lilies, among them in a cloud of myrrh and frankincense. And I thought about our sukkah and the pine cones that are in the corner that give this like wafting cinnamon smells, like great cooking and delicious, yummy things in the kitchen. And so I thought we would sing Dodili, page 129. Top of the page. Dodili vanilo harohe bashoshanim. Dodili mizoto ola min hamidbar. Mizhot hola hamidbar. Dodili vanilo ahohe bashoshanim. Dodili mikuteret mo. Mahulivona Dodili. Dodili vanila hohe bashoshanim. Dodili libatini achoti kala libatini chala. Dodili page 138. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla Shama zachar b'dibur echad Hishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'helezilah Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla likrat Shabbat lechuvenelcha ki hi mekoho habracha merosh mikadem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla Number 5, hit'oreri kiva orech kubi ori uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alayich nihigla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla. Please join us as we rise and look toward the door. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emuna amasegula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla.
Please be seated. We continue on 121 and 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Page 124. I love the reading in the middle of the page, and especially as we install our new directors, our new officers for the year, I see this as a wonderful challenge for all of us. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Page 144.
יתקדש ויקדש שמך
אמן.
ביעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון אביון מחון ובחיי דרכו בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמך במברך להלמלה מהלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל שמי קדושה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
On 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv arabim.
Page 150. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו. ולהם נהגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. והבטחה אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. We continue on the next page, 154, as we chant the Ve'ahavta. And for all of those of you who said you've never read Torah, you're wrong. Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On the facing page. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. 158.
מי כמוך באים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסיף אליי, נורא תהילות אוסיף אליי. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זהילי אנו ואמרו. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. On 160 is our prayer, our nighttime prayer. And I've said before that I think this is probably a remnant of one of the earliest prayers that Jews ever said, that the people ever said. Because when we think about it, what's the scariest time of day? Nighttime, especially when there's no electricity, no lights, and when we go to sleep. And so we're helpless, we're defenseless. And so the prayer says, God, spread over us your sukkah of peace, your sukkot shalom. We understand that any sukkah that we make is easily torn apart. We all had proof of that. But your sukkah of peace is the one that can spread over us and protect us. So I don't know how many of you have ever slept in a canopy bed. Have you? There's the thing where you lie down in it and the canopy is over you. Or maybe you slept in a tent and you realized there was just this over you. It wasn't a house, but it was something that was covering you. And so when I think of this Sukkot Shalom, I think of God spreading a canopy over us so we can sleep safely and sleep in peace. So we're just going to read the last line, the Chatimah, in English and then in Hebrew, as we ask for God's sukkah of peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We continue on the top of page 162. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ויום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
In a minute, we turn to the Amidah, the even number pages starting at 164. This will be the last time that we say the words Morid Hatal in Gevurot until we get to Pesach. Morid Hatal says, thank you, God, for bringing the dew down from the heavens. The rest of the year we say, Mashiv HaRuach Morid HaGashem, you bring back the wind and you cause the rain to fall. One of the things that we will be studying in the adult class that we're doing on prayer is the fact that there are things we're not allowed to pray for. We're not allowed to pray for the impossible. Just not allowed. So we cannot pray for it to rain in Israel in the summer because it doesn't ever rain in Israel in the summer. And so the rabbis long ago said, we'll just pray that there will be dew that will settle down on things that are growing until we reach the time of year when rain can happen again. So when we reach the end of these holidays, we get into the wet season, the rainy season in Israel, we hope, because they need it too. And so this is the first Reformed prayer book that returned these blessings to these prayers. Those of you who grew up here, those lines simply weren't in it. Because we're not in Israel. It rains here all year round. But we did this to reconnect ourselves to the land, not just the land of Israel, but to reconnect ourselves to nature, which is really the whole message of Sukkot, to stop being in our climate-controlled area where we get to decide when it's wet and when it's dry and when it's hot and when it's cold, and instead to go outside and to share in the blessings of nature. So as we read through the Amidah, especially Gevurot, the second blessing, take a minute to think about the wonders of nature that surround you just through these ordinary days. So 164, please rise if you're able.
Adonai, Tzafatai Tiftach, Ufia להגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, העליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל החיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשנה עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל.
You are holy. Your name is holy. And those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Amen. We continue on page 173 at the top. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
On 174, one of the readings that we don't get to do too often is this reading in the middle of the page. So you've got to figure out where you go. It's complicated. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer in love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this day of Sukkot, be mindful of us and all your people Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being. Amen. Visit us with blessing.
Amen.
Help us to a fuller life.
Amen.
Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'tzion. 177. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot.
We continue on the top of page 178. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levach et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה ישלח. שלום Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Amen.
We continue silently with any of the prayers on the next several pages, or the words that we each have in our own hearts.
You were all handed a song page. We'll be singing Yehiyu Lehatson by Michelle Citron. Yehiyu Lehatson imrefi Legion libi. Yehiyu Lehatson imrefi Legion libi lefanecha. Adonai
Adonai
Tzuri,
Tzuri,
Adonai Tzuri Begoali. Adonai
Adonai
Tzuri,
Tzuri,
Adonai Tzuri Begoali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock, my rock, and my redeemer. Ooh, ooh,
Please turn to page 371. When I've been speaking with my adult education class the past several weeks, day and evening, about prayer, and I said to them, how will you know that your prayer works? How will you know it has succeeded? The first thing in both classes, day and evening, someone said, well, I prayed for someone to get better and they got better. So this prayer for healing is really powerful in what it means to us. So right now, before we join in the prayer, please take the time to think about the people in your life whom you're praying for. Praying for them to get better, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it may be. It may be the healing of a body part. It may be healing of a heart. Whatever it might be. If you'd like to say their names aloud, then as I look at you, as I look around the room, please make their names part of our prayer.
Sophie Weiss, Joanne, Karen Lewinsky's daughter, granddaughter. Cape Gladney. Misha B'Yah Avotenu Mekor HaBracha L'Imahotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha B'Yah Imahotenu Mekor HaBracha L'Avotenu. May those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing, Amen.
We Jews have interesting traditions, and one of which is that we install our officers months after they begin working. Way back from long ago, when I heard they're installing a new rabbi, a new cantor, a new board, I pictured people showing up with wrenches and pliers and stuff like this, and really doing a good installation job. But what we're actually doing tonight is recognizing the people who have made the commitment to lead. and who have done it completely voluntarily, with no pay, certainly no monetary reward, in fact, generally comes at a price, but who have said that this is important to them. And so we're going to ask our board members to come up, but all the rest of you in the congregation, you should have a sheet which has 2 readings on it, and the first will be read before anyone says anything, and then after everything is done, there'll be another reading for you to share your blessing with them. So I'm going to ask, please, that our president, Tamima Grinvald, please come forward. Tamima, will you be introducing the board members, or just ask everyone to come up?
I'll just ask everyone
Okay.
to come up.
Get them all standing right here.
Okay, so please join me. You know who you are.
Run right there, face the front, face everybody. There you go. Watch the candles, please.
The one candle.
Okay.
The one candle.
The one candle?
Yes,
I
one
see.
candle.
No, just leave it. No, just leave it, do its thing. You can move down here some, it's good.
We can just shift it.
So could I ask all of you in the congregation, please read with me at the top of the sheet that you have. Are you ready? Dear God, we thank you for these men and women, for their willingness to serve, for their faithfulness to our Jewish tradition, and for the qualities of mind and spirit that they bring to their office. Reveal even more clearly to each officer and member the high import and the precious value of this holy community as they assume their responsibilities for the many tasks of our congregation. May they be proud of their duty, dedicated in their responsibility, and enriched by their accomplishments. May they be ever faithful leaders of your people, watchful guardians of the best interests and the good name of this congregation.
The members of this congregation have selected new officers to lead us through the months ahead. We are gathered here to reflect upon the importance of leadership and to reaffirm our basic purposes: prayer, study, and deeds of loving kindness. Thus say Adonai, let not the wise glory in their wisdom, let not the mighty glory in their might, let not the rich glory in their riches, but let those who glory in this, that they understand and revere Adonai, who practices kindness, justice, and righteousness on earth. For in these things I delight, says God. Hear the words of Adonai. When you stretch forth your hands, I will ignore you. When you make many prayers, I will not hear, unless you make yourselves clean, unless you cease to do evil and learn to do good. Honor me not with your lips, if your hearts are far from me, if your prayers are commandments recited without feeling.
Leadership demands devotion. Good leadership is never automatic. The heritage of our tradition records that in ancient times, as Rabbi Asi lay dying, his nephew saw that he was weeping and asked, "Why do you weep? Could there be any part of our tradition which you have not studied or taught? Your disciples are sitting here before you. And could there be any act of loving kindness which you have not done? I hardly think so. And over and above all your qualities, you have never tried to become appointed to an office administering to the needs of the community." Rabbi Asi replied, "That is why I weep. Perhaps I shall be judged badly because I was able to be a leader and was not a leader."
This congregation is our congregation. This people is our people. We are mutually bound by faith and honor. This temple is our instrument to serving God by growing in understanding of Torah, by preserving our heritage, by fulfilling our obligations to the Jewish people wherever they live, and by helping all of our children. We promise to uphold the strength in this house of God. And now, what does Adonai, our God, requires of us? Our Torah teaches to love Adonai, our God, to walk in God's ways, to serve God in all our heart and all our might, and to keep the commandments of our people. Our God and God of our ancestors, Bless our wisdom, strength, and understanding. Sustain us with your Spirit, O God. Grant us that labor be a blessing and a source of blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'tzorchei hatzibur. We praise you, Adonai, our God, source of all creation, who sanctify us through mitzvot and commands us to concern ourselves with the needs of the community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achianu v'kimanu v'higianu lezman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai, our God, source of all creation, for creating us, sustaining us, and bringing us to this occasion.
And may I ask the congregation please to read. May the doors of this temple be wide enough to receive all who are hungry for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. And may the doors of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold never be a stumbling block to young or straying feet, but may it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this temple be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We ask God to bless you with the oldest blessing we know. For those of you who were born Jewish, these words were said for you when you came into the world. For those of you who became Jewish along the way, they were said on the day that you became Jewish. For those of you married under a chuppah, the words were said for you under the chuppah. For those of you who brought Jewish children into the world, you heard these words said for those children as they came into the world as well. It is our oldest blessing and our fondest wish. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Ken Yeh Ratzon. May God bless you and protect you. May the light of God's face shine on you, and may God be good to you. May God's face be lifted up on you. May God always watch over you. And may God bless you in your life and in this holy work with peace. Mazel tov to all of you. And on behalf of the entire congregation and community, thank you. You were going to say something?
Yes.
Okay. Go sit down here and you can stand and begin.
I want to share with everyone who came here tonight that I feel blessed to have such a great team on my side. But first and foremost, I do want to thank Robin Mann, who actually embraced me into the role. And for the year before taking up the role, from the moment, I don't know if it was a full year, but from the moment that I said yes, she just made me feel comfortable in who I am and in stepping up to the plate and starting to make decisions, and it's a blessing to have you at my side, and at the same time it's a blessing to have the reach to all the past presidents as well that are my counsel for everything that I need to ask. But more than this, everything that needs to be accomplished, it's never just me. It's always the members of the boards who are working tirelessly with me together. And I am blessed with the fact that you are open-minded. And that is the biggest thing that I could have hoped for, because I know that we are charting through, blazing a new road for our congregation, and we cannot do it without open-minded. And you all have that, and you bring it with you with loving kindness and the level of intelligence of all our conversations. And I know that our congregation is at your heart, and thank you.
On your sheets, there is the song by Debbie Friedman called Holy Place. For those of you who remember Temple Rodeph Torah in the cafeteria at Asher Homes at Christmas with the dancing pigs decorating the wall, you created a sanctuary. You made it a holy place. It didn't matter that it was a cafeteria during the day. All that mattered was that it was a holy place when each of you came in. These are the gifts that we bring, that we may build a holy place. This is the spirit that we bring, that we may build a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of God will dwell within. These are the colors of our dreams we bring to make a holy place. This is the weaving of our lives we bring to make a holy place. We will bring all the goodness that comes from our hearts, and the Spirit of love will dwell within. These are the prayers that we bring, that we may make a holy place. These are the visions that we seek, that we may build a holy place. Let our promise forever be strong. Let our souls rise together in song, that the Spirit of God and the Spirit of love, Shekhinah, will dwell within.
So this evening, I want to share a thought with you, which is a Sukkot thought, but more than that. As I wrote to you, those of you who get snail mail bills, I decided to use this year, and pardon the chutzpah, do not compare myself to Moses. I, in the article, compared myself to parents sending a kid off to camp. The book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, is Moses going back and repeating all the things that he said to the Israelites over 40 years just before they go off without him. And I had the image years ago of parents putting kids on a bus and trying to remind them of every life lesson they ever did in the 5 minutes before the bus pulls away. Be nice to people, don't forget to brush your teeth, be polite, do whatever it is. It's like you never taught your kids anything till now. But Devarim seems like that. So over the last 6 months, I have been making little notes of the things that I've tried to teach. And I decided that I would take one Shabbat, each Shabbat during the course of the year, and try to share one idea. So tonight, I have one for you. And to understand it, I want to tell you about something I do with the high school students. Our 11th and 12th graders are in a program called Packing for College. We help them get ready to go off and live Jewish lives on campus. And one of the sessions we talk about how are you going to deal with other people of other religions on campus? How are you going to explain who you are? And they're really good with everything until we ask them, what are you going to say to an Orthodox Jew that you meet on campus who says, so what is Reform Judaism? Because you know what they tell me? Well, we don't really do Shabbat. We really don't keep kosher. We don't really do Sukkot. We don't, and they'll go on for as long as I let them go on. And I go, you haven't said anything you do. You've only said what you don't do. What do you do? And it takes them either a while or they can't figure out what they do as Reform Jews. They just know what they don't do. So as if Reform Judaism is just like the logic symbol of equals and then with a line through it is not. It's like Reform is not orthodoxy. Great. But what is it? And I think that one of the things that leads to that, and by the way, there's an adult version of it. People come and talk to me and say, well, I have family members, I have friends, they're religious. Now, they don't really mean religious, they mean orthodox. And I will gently at the proper time correct them and say, you mean orthodox. Because there are religious Reform Jews, there are non-religious Orthodox Jews. If you keep Shabbat and keep kosher and all this stuff and go and cheat people blind in business, you can think you're a religious Jew, but you're not. Because there are 105 rules in Torah about how we handle money and business. There are 34 about whether we keep kosher. So if you ask what does Torah really care more about, it seems to be that. So these things put together led me to realize something. Here's where we Reformed Jews fall short for ourselves. We never do anything completely. We don't do anything Jewish completely. And that leaves us feeling incomplete and inauthentic. Now, this isn't a sales pitch like you should do A, B, or C. But I'm going to make a suggestion that everyone who wants to feel differently about yourself as a Jew, pick something, one thing, Jewish, that you will do completely. Now, let's say you pick Shabbat. I do not mean sitting in the dark and not turning on a light and not watching TV or anything like that. I don't mean that. That's an Orthodox Shabbat. But what if we took Shabbat from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday as a time for ourselves, as a time for family, as a time to take a nap, as a time to relax, as a time to say thank you. All the way. Because what happens with us Reform Jews, we come on Friday night, and then Saturday we get up and go to the mall, and we do whatever we're going to do, and Shabbat's gone. And I know this because our phone rings on Saturday afternoon, and one of us picks it up and goes, Shabbat Shalom, and we hear, oi! Click. Like on a really regular basis, okay? So, and now with caller ID, I know who was the oi. But they we don't do Shabbat. Pesach. Everyone's got a Seder. How many people could get to the end of the Haggadah? I'm not asking for a show of hands. Just think. Okay? How many people make it to the end of the Haggadah? Right? Not so many. You get to dinner, and then, well, that's good enough. Or you get through the 4 questions, and that's good enough. And, so, okay, and let alone 7 days without bread. Well, we do the Seder, that's enough. And so we feel inauthentic. I would even ask, again, no show of hands, how many people actually make it through all 8 nights of Hanukkah, lighting the candles every single night? Because something comes up, and around the 5th night you go, oh, we already got our gifts, so it's good, happy Hanukkah. Okay? This year is going to be a challenge. Those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th nights are going to be New Year's. Okay? But we don't even do Hanukkah all the way. And so we feel inauthentic. We don't do it. What if we were to pick one thing and do it? Now, I'll tell you, it's not always easy. Our last child left home a number of years ago. And the first year after that, Shira and I had a question. Do we build a sukkah? It's just the 2 of us. We decided we were going to keep doing it. And blessings have flowed from that sukkah every single year. They really have. This year, something new happened. which is that I'm wearing this stupid brace, and I'm not allowed to lift my right arm up above here. Do the work on how you build a sukkah like that. And so 2 lovely temple members, who are both engineers by training, came and built the most magnificent sukkah out of our stuff. Shira and I sat there the other night going, never looked like this when we did it. Wow. Really, I mean, like, lined up. It was really wonderful. And they just called and said, we know you can't build your sukkah. When should we come over and do it? And so the sukkah brought not only its own blessings, but the blessings of compassion, of community, and going, whoa, I thought I was type A. Like, they really did a good job. Pick something. Do it. Do it all. Do it as Reformed Jews. Don't need to become Orthodox. But Sukkot is not Orthodox. It's Jewish. Hanukkah is not Orthodox. It's Jewish. Pesach is not Orthodox. It's Jewish. Shabbat is not Orthodox. It's Jewish. I think that we put ourselves down by doing things only halfway. It's not for someone else. And I'm not saying to you, take on everything I just listed. But I'll make you a suggestion. I'll suggest you start with Shabbat because you don't have to wait till December, which is Hanukkah, or April, which is Pesach, or next year for Sukkot. Pick something. Pick something and do it all. People say to me, well, I sort of keep kosher. What does that mean? Well, I keep kosher, but I really like cheeseburgers. Then you don't keep kosher. It's not for me. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But then you cannot feel, I keep kosher. Now, I keep kosher. I don't buy kosher meat because I don't really like the Orthodox authorities. But I keep kosher. Some people say it's not really kosher. That's not my problem. That's theirs. But I do it. And so, it means we have 2 sets of dishes and extra dishes for Pesach. It's not the biggest problem in the world. It's really not. We shortchange ourselves when we do things halfway. And as I said, you don't get points, you don't get credits, nothing like that. Pick something that you love and do it the whole way, with the whole 9 yards. Pick whatever it is. Don't know how? You got 2 rabbis that are here that would be more than happy to point you toward Reform Jewish texts that will show you how. I'm not going to send you to some Orthodox book that's going to say this, because then you're immediately going to be, well, no, this. Let me give you a Reform book that will talk about Shabbat or Hanukkah or pick whatever it might be. Reform Jews keep kosher, different than Orthodox Jews too. Do you know that in Reform kashrut, veal is not kosher? An Orthodox Jew will eat veal. A Reformed Jew won't. Because of the way veal is raised, we consider it cruelty to animals, and we don't allow it. Things you didn't know. It's not hard to do. It requires simply one thing. It requires saying, I'm Jewish, and I'm going to do it. And what I'll tell you is that when you do, whatever it is you do, you come out with 2 things. An incredible sense of satisfaction, an incredible sense that when someone says, what are you? You go, I'm Jewish, the whole way.
So while Abraham didn't know exactly where he was going, when God said, Lech lecha, go, pick yourself up, and make your way across this desert, and I'll bring you to a land that I'm going to show you that is fabulous. When you get to that place, you feel authentic. Lech Ilach, page 645. Lech Ilach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechilach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lechilach, Lechilach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat Chaim, Lesimchat Chaim, Lesimchat Chaim, Lechilach, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechilach.
Page 586, in the middle of the page. Please rise if you're able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצו, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Next page. שהוא נוטה שמיים והוא עושה את הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינה התעוזה בגוב המרומים. הוא אלוהינו, הוא אין עוד האמת מלכנו וזולתו. כך כתוב בתורתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת ינעוד.
Please be seated. 590. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, Adonai our God, let them pay homage. Let them give glory to your honored name. Let all accept the yoke of your reign, that you may rule over us soon and forever. For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written in your Torah, Adonai will reign forever and ever.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
So we have a really busy weekend coming up. Tomorrow morning's minyan is at 10 o'clock. On Sunday at 4:30 is Yizkor for Sukkot. There are 5 times a year we're commanded to remember our loved ones who've died. And for this one, we get a chance to really use the Yizkor service that's in the Yom Kippur book because we're not time pressed. It's a really beautiful service. I hope you'll come and join us at 4:30. And then at 6:30 is Rak Simchat Torah, the last of the high holidays. Join with us as we celebrate the Torah and dance with the Torah and open it up and share what it looks like and what it says. Come and celebrate with us. 6:30 on Sunday evening. And then things get to what's called normal. The next month, we're in the month of Tishrei. The next month is called Mar Cheshvan, which is bitter Cheshvan. And it's called bitter because it has no Jewish holidays in it, except Shabbat. For many of us, especially clergy, it's like, yay, Cheshvan. It's like, okay, a little time without a major holiday going on. So things get back to normal. And so if you look at the announcement sheet, you'll see information on events coming up soon, coming up all the way through December. Things that hopefully they'll look interesting. Put them on your calendar now so that you remember and so you're going to be here and don't put something else on that day. For Sisterhood, for Comedy Night, for Cinderella's Ball, all kinds of things. Please feel free to take the announcement sheet with you and sign up for whatever you'd like or just put it on your calendar so you know. And again, thank you, Shira, for doing the music tonight. I appreciate it very, very much. Everyone appreciates it very, very much, really. So, and still, it is Sukkot, and a couple of people came and repaired the temple sukkah. So after the service, if you would like to take your own egg and go out and sit in the sukkah and eat there, you're welcome to. We will take the lulav and the etrog outside. Anyone who would like to wave the lulav, we'll be happy to show you how, give you instructions, help you through it, so you can be part of that. And the sukkah is open and available until Monday at sundown. So any meal you want to come and just have a meal here, sit in the sukkah for a while. It's supposed to be a pretty weekend. Just feel free to come and do it. No reservations, nothing in advance. You might meet other people here, but they'll be really cool people. So come take advantage if you don't have a sukkah at home. And I really, really do want to thank Ron and Sherry, who made it possible for us to have a sukkah this year. Because I was sitting and thinking about it, and it wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't possible for it to happen. And they just called and said, when do you want us to come over? Which was really, really nice. So thank you both. So Chag Sameach to everyone. We turn to Kaddish on page 598. And before we join together in the prayer, we think of loved ones who died recently, who died at this time in years past. If you are here to say Kaddish for Shiva, for someone who died during the past week, please rise now and say their names aloud. And if you are here to say Kaddish for Shloshim, for someone who died during the past 30 days, please rise as well and say their names aloud. And if you were here to say Kaddish for Yartzeit or for any other reason, please rise, and as I look at you, say their names aloud.
Alan Stevens.
Hamakom
Yinachem
Yenachem
Etchem,
Im
Im Sha'a Avlei Tzion Yerushalayim. May God console you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
Please rise if you're able.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba, v'alma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon of yomechon, v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei d'Kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ויאמרו Amen.
Now please turn all the way back to 122, 123.
There is.
And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
And we have candy for those of you under 13.
And again, on the last thing on your song sheets is a song that I really love, called Let There Be Love.
Selena.
And Hashki,
It's good stuff. I chose it.
he liked, don't take the nerds, he likes the nerds.
You're welcome to take the nerds. I got plenty. There's lots of stuff in here.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Take two.
Should. I take the yellow nerds and the red nerds.
And the reason I wanted to sing this song is because it replays this image of God creating a sukkah of peace, enveloping blanket of peace around us. Top of the page where it says Songs for Friday. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu leshalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu leshalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu l'shalom.
Dear God, may the members of this community who have accepted the responsibility of leadership feel satisfaction in their work. God, you know better than anyone that leading Jews is not easy. But may they, whenever they reach the end of their terms, look back and say, I did it all, and I did a good job. And please, dear God, allow each of us that same feeling. Allow us to find a time, a thing that we make ours, and that we do from beginning to end. Allow us to feel the satisfaction, the joy of doing Jewishly.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Chag
Shalom.
Sameach.
חג שמח. מועדים לשמחה.
We are going out to the sukkah for anyone who wants to come out there.
Oh, sorry.